Gross viewers. I am so excited tonight to be back in the game with the segment that I get the most emails about. This is a journey that I have been following, and you have been with me every step of the way. A lot of the emails I get are from my friends, the ladies out there, saying there is a limited pool of guys in the dating world. Girls, I'm going to have to strongly disagree with you because I have found some amazing guys. Guys that have character, guys that are kind, guys that you just want to be with, and guys out there, same with the dating pool for the ladies. There are some amazing ladies out there. Where am I in this journey? Well, I want to say that it has been an absolute journey, and it still continues to be a journey. And you know what they say? They say that when you know, you just know. And so I have found someone that I want to try with. Why did I pick this person? Well, I will have to say that he just had something when I first met him that was an energy, a chemistry, and I just knew. Relationships are hard. Who knows where this relationship is really going to go? And we don't have crystal balls, and we really don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I'm very excited about the journey. I found someone that I actually want to try with. Someone that made me want to get off the dating sites. Someone that made me end other relationships because I wanted to be with one person and try to make it work. It's new. Like I said, I'm not sure where it's going to go, but I'm super excited about the journey to see where it's going to go. What's different about him? I've had so many people ask me that. And I would say that he checks most of the boxes. He's kind, respectful, funny to be with, caring, but most of all, he does not try to dull my spark. He wants me to sparkle. He wants me to shine. And he wants me to be myself because that's what he likes most. So that's probably what I'm the most excited about. And the same with him. I really want him to be himself because I like every part of him. Okay, so I will keep you posted on the little butterflies that I get and, just where the journey goes. But right now, I'm going to answer some of your questions because although I'm not a dating expert, I am in this game, this journey, this moment in time with you. So I'm going to ask the first question. Question number 1. When is it too soon to ask about past relationships? How many exes? How many girlfriends? Do you live with anyone? And so Elizabeth T., thank you for that amazing question. In my opinion, it's fair game to ask these questions on your very first date. I would want to know. Are you in a relationship? Are you still married? Are you separated? Those are commonalities that need to be explained on the very first date. I mean, do you really want to invest time in a relationship that's not going to go anywhere? I don't. Who has time for that? So, in answer to your question, Elizabeth T., it's, in my opinion, okay to ask on the very first date. Okay. Question number 2. Why do some men want to text instead of call or meet you? Tiffany B., thank you for that amazing question, Tiffany. I believe it's because they're hiding something. If they have enough time to text you, they certainly have enough time to call you. I mean, perhaps the first week it's okay if they want to do texting only. Not in my book, but maybe that's okay. But if they don't want to meet you in person, they want to continue just texting with you because they're trying to find themselves or because, they just want to make sure. You're not going to make sure on a text message. So don't waste your time, girlfriend, if he's not going to call you in the first week, and move on to someone that deserves your time. Just saying. And now question number 3. How do you know when to trust someone? Steve R. Steve, that is a great question. I struggle with that myself. I really do. However, if I trust myself, then I have to trust the person that I'm with. My feeling really is that you trust them until they give you a reason not to trust them. A trustworthy person will have self-control to maintain character and follow through on what they say they're going to do. Even when they're tempted, they don't follow through if it's with another person. Trust is really just blind faith, putting yourself out there to believe in the other person. What did they say? It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Kind of the same thing with trust. Do you want to never love at all? Or do you want to throw it all out there, take a gamble, and see what happens? I believe that trust is the building block for any relationship that you're going to have. You have to trust each other. That was a great question. So I just want to say in closing, I love that you share your lives with me. I love your emails. I love your support. I know I've had so many people out there that are cheering me on, that are just kind of living through me, knowing that you can do this. It's been a very hard journey, and I'm sure it's going to be a hard journey for the next, I don't know how many years. However, it's a journey that opens your horizons. It's a journey that opens your opinions. It's a journey that opens your heart. Because I'm not sure about you, but I'm at an age where I want to share my life with someone that I enjoy, someone that I want to spend time with, and someone that I want to build a future with. So keep those emails coming, keep those IMs coming, keep those Facebook messages coming, and I will be sharing with you my journey really soon.
If you are in the fashion, art, or entertainment industry and would like to be a guest on The Deborah Kennedy Show, just go to DeborahKennedyShow.com and you can be a guest just like me.
Relationships are complicated. Throw in dealing with the family dynamics and the roller coaster ups and downs of marriage. What do we do? Well, what we do is call a marriage and family specialist. And tonight I have Chris Matthews on the set to talk to us about how we navigate this crazy world of relationships. Welcome to the set.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, I just want to say that you are an inspiration to me. I watched some of your reels and your video, and you just have this mission that speaks volumes from your video, that you really want to help people. Mm-hmm. And I love that you said you're a healer. And that really is what relationships need, is a little healing, because sometimes we don't know where they're going. We need a little navigation and help. So tell us a little bit about how you got started doing this, and a little bit about your background.
Yeah. So I got started out pretty young. My wife and I just celebrated 13 years of marriage on August 11th.
Congrats.
And thank you. So we were in college and we unexpectedly got pregnant. No call mom wants to hear, right? I'm pregnant, and I had a lot of friends who were having babies, and they would tell me, well, Chris, I'm going to be there for my son, or I'm going to be there for my daughter. And I wanted to change that narrative. I wanted to make sure that I was there for my wife. I wanted to be there for my family. And that's how I got into the field. I was at UNC Charlotte at the time. I went to my local counseling center, and I looked around, and there were no men, and then there were no men of color. So I then went to my church, got a great prayer, but I was then pushed back out there, and I had to figure it out the hard way. Mm-hmm. So after several years of doing my own research, I chose to go back to school, get a master's in marriage and family therapy, and help heal relationships and be there for couples and be the person that I didn't have when I was going through my situation with my wife at the time.
I love that, because you lived it.
Yes.
Marriage is very difficult at best. You throw in a baby, and I love that you didn't run. You thought, I don't want to be there just to raise the child, because a lot of men don't even want to do that.
Right.
You not only wanted to be there to help with the child, but you wanted to be a partner to your wife. You wanted to have that relationship. Mm-hmm. So that is so touching, and I can see how that would transpire into, being a therapist, a specialist in building that trust and building those relationships.
Right.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I find that it's a day in and day out effort, but it's fun. And I know before the show we were just talking about the movie Groundhog Day that I find some inspiration from. It's an old movie with Bill Murray, I believe, and every day he wakes up and he has to fall in love with the same person. And that's how I approach my marriage, and I approach my relationships with my children the same way. I want to fall in love with the people who I care about every day.
Right. Oh, I love that. It gives me goosebumps. So I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
And I hope you can help me answer these.
Yeah.
What is the number one issue most of your clients have in their relationship?
Yeah. So, being that I treat predominantly couples, the number one issue that couples have align with safety. So, safety is broad, and it usually stems around infidelity and cheating, money and finances, or just that overall level of commitment. So, starting on that foundational ground level to help couples understand what their boundaries are, what their needs and expectations are before approaching a relationship, so they can be safe and protect themselves as they open their hearts up to someone else.
That's so important because, you know, it's hard to be vulnerable. Like when you're even in a, you know, marriage, because sometimes you feel that other person judges you, or I would think, I mean, you know, so those are great moments that, you know, would all do and work together. And so you counsel them to have communication, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Open communication
is definitely going to be the number one thing that a couples therapist is going to help you with, because we tend to lean on our family of origin or the patterns that we acknowledge from our parents. So if we come from families that don't have healthy examples, then we're going to apply those same unhealthy examples into our current relationships.
Exactly. I love that. Next question. This is for somebody married, entering into marriage or relationship. What are the red flags you should look for in the beginning of a relationship before they get married? I'm sure you do premarital counseling.
So the number one red flag is a fancy word. It's called differentiation of self, meaning if your partner doesn't have a relationship with themselves, they don't have self-love, they're trying to enmesh themselves into who you are, and they try to take away your identity. So if you're dating someone and they don't allow you to be you, and they're trying to take away your own personal identity, they're trying to tell you what you should or should not do, hobbies or different behaviors that you automatically enjoy doing prior to meeting them, that's a red flag. Turn the other way. You want someone that's going to be secure in who you are when they meet you, not someone they want to make you out to be.
You want someone that wants you to make your light shine.
Correct.
Sparkle
Correct.
bright, right?
Definitely.
So that's great because a lot of people want a relationship, and so they morph into what they think the other person wants, and they do lose their identity, or that person is controlling.
Exactly.
So that's a red flag. Run.
Yeah. Get away.
Get away fast. Okay. Is it true? The beginning stages of our lives, our childhood, defines who we are. You kind of talked about this as adults, and the patterns that we follow is from our childhood, what our parents did in relationships. How do we change this if the childhood was less than normal?
The first way we change it is with awareness. In the work that I do with couples, I'll always meet with them individually first. And the goal is to do a strong assessment on where they came from, because if we can identify and be aware of certain behaviors and patterns, then we can begin to change them.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know how to connect the dots. That's why they seek out counselors to help put it all together for them. It's almost like having a pile of all these pieces, but the counselor's there to help you put the puzzle together.
Right. You are just so easy to talk to. I love this. Everything's flowing, and your answers are just like so mind-boggling. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to watch a little video of who Chris Matthews is, and then we'll be right back.
Who is Chris A. Matthews? Chris Matthews is a man of faith. Chris Matthews is a husband, a father. Chris Matthews is a licensed marriage and family therapist, but more importantly, he's a healer of people, a healer of relationships, a healer of families, by way of delivering marriage and family therapy. That's who Chris Matthews is.
And now we're back with the amazing Chris Matthews. Next question for you, darling. What are the 5 things we should do for a happy, healthy relationship?
So the 5 things that you have to do for a healthy, happy relationship. First, create a safe space. So that looks like not cheating and not lying to your partner. Second, be an active listener. Active listening looks like being able to recite back what you hear your partner say and not thinking about what you want to say next. Third, we want to make sure that we're taking the time to understand our partner. Just because our partner might share a different opinion than us, it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. We don't want to be competitors. This isn't a competition. We're designed to complement each other, not compete with each other.
Compliment each other. I like that.
Fourth, we want to make sure that we create a space where love can actually grow. If you think about an environment that's going to harvest and harness love, that's going to be an environment where partners feel heard. They feel safe and secure. And then the fifth one is going to be make sure that you have conversations that are hard. Conversations around money, conversations about intimacy are tough for couples to have. You want to have those conversations early and often and know what you expect. Know what you want before going to your partner. They can't read your mind. Don't expect them to.
I love that. And that's like amazing advice. I've not really heard that before. So very, very unique and original. What are the 5 things we should not do if we want to have a happy, healthy relationship?
So the first thing you should not do is depend on your partner to make you happy. This is not math class. 2 negatives do not make a positive. Second, keep your family out of your business.
Okay.
It is an intimate relationship for a reason. Third, make sure that you're not putting yourself in a position where you can hurt someone else. And that looks like not knowing what you want.
Right.
And fourth, make sure that you've accomplished your goals and you've established yourself, because a lot of times couples will come into marriage and they'll talk about selfishness. There's certain areas in life where you need to be selfish. If there's a degree or a high-level career opportunity, pursue that before getting to a relationship.
Right.
And fifth, make sure that you don't enter the relationship with the expectations of the person changing. Where you found them is where they're going to be. They're not going to change just because you now are in a committed relationship.
Love them for who they are.
Yes.
Or get
Love them
out
for who
if
they
you
are
don't.
and get out. Exactly.
Last question is how do you overcome the fear of failing in a relationship?
Be organic and transparent. Vulnerability is really our way of letting someone know who we really are. So if you're not allowing yourself to fail, then you're going to set yourself up for a representation of someone else and not your real partner. In other words, be okay knowing that you're probably only going to get 70% of what you really want out of another person, right? And that 30% has to be certain things you can just agree that they're just going to be the way they are.
Right. You have to accept them.
You got to
The
accept
70 has to be way more
70
important
has
than
to
the
be
30.
way more than the 30.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So give me your lasting words for our audience out there that maybe is dealing with relationship issues, maybe on the borderline of a divorce, maybe really wants to save their marriage. What are some lasting words?
Self-love. And self-love looks like taking the opportunity to understand who you are. And then I'm going to throw an extra one in there. Be willing to open up in order to heal up. You have to be willing to open up and be vulnerable with your partner if you really want to save or heal a relationship.
I love that. You were amazing, Chris Matthews. Thank you for stopping by the set. We hope you'll visit us again and again and again. You just inspired me. You just have this energy about you. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. It's been a joy to be here.
It's our pleasure. Relationships are difficult. They truly are. But with the help of our amazing Chris Matthews, we hope he's answered some of your questions and maybe even saved your marriage or at least healed it.
If you are in the fashion, art, or entertainment industry and would like to be a guest on The Deborah Kennedy Show, just go to DeborahKennedyShow.com and you can be a guest, just like me.
How often do you think about healthy options? I need to lose those 5 pounds. Maybe I just want to eat healthier. I want to feel better about myself. Well, my special guest tonight is going to help navigate that. Ashley Gadson with Maybe I'm Vegan. Ashley, I'm so excited to have you on the set tonight.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
Deborah.
I'm going to tell you, one of my girlfriends from LA, I can remember her coming to visit 10 years ago, and she was vegan. And there were no restaurants, basically, to take her to. You could get a salad, a little grilled this or whatever.
Right.
And how this vegan phase has blown up because people want to be healthy.
Right.
So tell me about being vegan.
Absolutely. So you're absolutely right, Deborah. So I started my vegan journey after I had my first son. Well, right after I had my first son. I was diagnosed during my pregnancy with hyperthyroidism. And I was like, what is that? Oh my gosh. And so I did like a lot of research, and I was like, I need to make healthier choices, right? Even though it may not be all the time. It's hard to commit all the time, but I want to make baby steps. And so that's how I started transitioning into eating vegan. I do believe veganism is a complete lifestyle, right? What you wear, what you take in, what makeup, all that stuff, right?
No
So
leather,
right.
complete.
So I'm not claiming complete veganism, right? But I am what I eat. You know, I do want to make sure it's healthy and that I put healthy things in me. So no meat, no cheese, anything from animal not eating. And so it started off kind of rough, right? And so I started doing researching. I YouTubed a lot of stuff. Tabitha Brown, everybody knows her, right? I started following her and just shopping places that had a lot of plant-based options. And that's how I grew from there, figuring out that I can do a million different things with chickpea. Right? I can make a chickpea salad, tuna salad. I can make eggs from chickpea.
I heard you could even make like fish and chips.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely,
girl,
right?
yes.
So I use flower blossom, and I take that and I just coat it, and it tastes just like fish.
Right.
And I bread it and everything fried, tastes just like fish, right? So there's a lot of different substitutes that you can find to replace the meat to have healthier options. And for me was definitely, I wanted to reduce my blood pressure. I wanted to be better with my hyperthyroidism and to get my levels down. And believe it or not, it worked. Like it worked. I juiced a lot. It worked. And so going into my second pregnancy, I did not have to be on any medication at all when I was with my first pregnancy. And so it was such a big difference for me. And so that's how I started on the vegan journey. And I try each day just to make a conscious effort to like, this is what I'm going to do. I get really creative. I make black bean burgers out of rolling oats and corn and black beans and put it all together and onions and mushrooms. And that's my black bean burger, right? So chicken, I also use rolling oats with that, and you can use nutritional yeast. You can use seitan and all that stuff with the gluten from the wheat, and that makes really good meat chicken. It imitates that really well. So you can do a lot of things.
And it's really
to
about
make
being
better
creative.
options. Yeah.
You know, they always say you are what you eat.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the food has preservatives in it.
Absolutely.
And as vegan, you prepare your own. You don't you don't use packaged products.
Right.
It's fresh. It's right.
Right. So I'm glad you said that. Right. So because you can eat vegan food that's like not so great, right? You can go get the stuff that's preserved, the stuff that's in the frozen. So you're right. So you want to do the fresh things. You want to make it at home. So you're right. But I know a lot of people when they start on the vegan journey, they kind of go to that like preserved food just to kind of help them transition over because sometimes it's difficult. But you're right. You're absolutely right. You want to do it fresh. You want to make sure you're not doing anything that has a lot of preservatives in it. So you're absolutely right. Yes.
And I think it's a lifestyle choice that you make. But I'm going to say my friends that are vegan, like my girlfriends in California, I swear they look 10 years younger than they are.
Yes.
Because they don't have those preservatives. They eat fresh. They don't eat meat.
Yeah.
You know,
they
do.
age backwards.
Yes,
right?
they age backwards.
Yes.
Who doesn't want that?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, I do.
I definitely do.
So you also do cleanses. Like you prepare. Tell me about that. Tell me about a cleanse and what it's going to do for me.
Yeah, so I do the 7-day detox, and I've done a 3-day detox as well. And so that is just to kind of restart your body, right? To flush out all those toxins, the colon, the liver, all the stuff that your kidneys, all the stuff that builds up all those toxins, and your body's working so hard because it has to break down those preservatives, break down those meats, all that stuff. So the cleanse really gives your body a break from doing all that stuff. And so you're not going, sometimes people will ask, am I going to lose 20 pounds? Am I going to lose, 15 pounds in 7 days?
No.
Probably not. If you are, that might be a little bit unhealthy. Right. So, but you might lose 5 to 7 pounds, right? Like you said, you'll feel better. That was one of the biggest things when you said that at the beginning, feeling better, right? A lot of times people equate veganism with, skinny, completely skinny. You look this way. And a lot of vegans are, right?
Right.
But, you know, you can be a vegan in your own body. I have curves.
Right.
I got lots of
Love
them.
your curves.
And I,
curves.
so I also talk about embracing your vegan body because every vegan body doesn't look the same. But like we were saying, you want to feel good. You want to make healthy choices. And that's what I want to support and put out there.
I love that because, you know, I love a good burger.
Yeah.
I love fried foods. I love all that, but I feel horrible
After
I eat it.
You
And when
do.
I eat healthy, I feel so much better.
You think better, don't you?
My
Make
brain
better
works
decisions.
better.
Yep.
And I love that you're just addressing the veganism and being a vegan because sometimes we think it's so complicated.
Right.
We can't do it. And I like the way you break it down. And you say, you know what, you don't have to do it every day.
Right.
Do it every other day. Do plant-based.
Yeah.
Just eat
Yes.
healthier.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And look what story you just told about you were off your drugs. You didn't have to have drugs any longer when you're pregnant because you were eating right for your body.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it made it so much better. I was able to move. I felt better. And so you're absolutely right. Just making simple choices. And you're right. Now all these options are available, right? So there's like really no excuse to say, oh, we can't eat vegan. There's so many choices at Kroger, Whole Foods,
Everywhere.
Food line, everywhere. You can make. They have plant-based, they have vegan. You can make those healthy options and just try it.
Absolutely.
You'll be surprised.
You'll be surprised. Now, and for closing, for our viewers out there, the borderline, perhaps they thinking they might want to be vegan. They, you know, they just want a little navigation and understanding. What words of advice could you give them?
I say that everybody probably eats vegan at least once a day, right? So people really think like, okay, black bean burgers is vegan. I don't eat that stuff, or like, oh, it tastes weird. It's that weird kale stuff. If you're eating fruit, that's vegan, right? If you're eating vegetables, that's vegan. So increase your vegetable intake.
Right.
That will really get you on the right step. Increase your fruit intake, your vegetables and fruit intake. That will really get you on the right step of going vegan and plant-based. And so that's just that simple.
Thank you for stopping by the set tonight,
Thank you
Ashley. You
so
were
much.
amazing.
Thank you, Deborah. I
It's my
appreciate you.
pleasure. So, just like Ashley Gadson says, take baby steps. If you're contemplating being a vegan or trying to be a vegan, just really try it. Start with vegetables and fruits and eliminate certain things and just do YouTube recipes or Google recipes because it's really about making sure you will follow the path and do it because that's where you'll get your success.
To view this entire episode or to view other past episodes, please visit our podcast site at DeborahKennedyShow.com.
If you are in the fashion, art, or entertainment industry and would like to be a guest on The Deborah Kennedy Show, just go to DeborahKennedyShow.com and you could be a guest just like me.
Just look inside. There's an